Hello and welcome to Outside Views, the channel where we explore the political decisions shaping our world and the lasting effects on real lives after Brexit. Today we'll be discussing a crucial topic, and that's what Brexit changes for UK nationals living in Europe. This issue has affected countless people who built their lives across the European Union under the promise of free movement, only to find themselves navigating a maze of uncertainty and bureaucracy. We'll examine the legal, social and personal challenges they now face and explore the historical roots of these changes to understand how we arrived here. So let's dive in. Before Brexit, UK nationals benefited from EU citizenship, which guaranteed the automatic right to live, work and study in any of the other 27 EU member states. And this was one of the cornerstones of EU membership, well, for the other 27 it still is, a symbol of integration and cooperation. Millions of Britons embraced this freedom, whether it meant retiring to the sunny coast of Spain, pursuing careers in major cities like Berlin or Paris, or studying at universities across Europe. Free movement was not just a policy, it was a way of life for many, fostering cultural exchange, economic growth and personal connections. But Brexit changed everything. On January 1st in 2021, the UK officially left the European Union, and with it, the provisions for free movement came to an end. For UK nationals, about the EU nationals I talked yesterday, this marked the beginning of a new reality, one defined by limitations, uncertainty, and for many, a profound sense of loss. The withdrawal agreement negotiated between the UK and the EU was intended to protect the rights of UK nationals already living in EU countries before Brexit became official. It guarantees their right to remain and access public services like healthcare and education, provided they meet certain conditions. But the rights are not automatic. To secure them, British citizens have had to register with local authorities in their host countries. And this process has been far from uniform. In some countries, the requirements are straightforward. Proof of residency, a valid passport, and basic documentation. In others, the process has been far more complex, involving extensive paperwork, in-person interviews, and long delays. For those who lived in their host countries legally for more than 5 years, permanent residency is often available. This status provides greater security and fewer bureaucratic hurdles, but obtaining it is not always simple. Many British citizens have faced challenges, from understanding local laws and procedures to dealing with language barriers. For some, the stress of navigating these systems has been overwhelming, leaving them uncertain about their future. And healthcare is another area where Brexit's impact has been deeply felt. Under the withdrawal agreement, UK nationals are entitled to healthcare in their host countries. But accessing this healthcare often requires registration with local systems, a process that can be time-consuming and confusing. For retirees or individuals with ongoing medical needs, ensuring access to healthcare has been a top priority. However, for those who fail to register in time, the consequences have been dire, with some losing access to essential services. And family reunification has also become a significant challenge. Before Brexit, spouses, partners and children of UK nationals could move freely across borders to join their loved ones. This was a right many took for granted, but it's no longer guaranteed. Now, family members must apply under family reunion provisions, which vary from country to country. So much about sovereignty here. And these applications often involve lengthy processes, complex documentation, and in some cases high costs. Unmarried partners face even greater hurdles, as their relationships are not automatically recognized under these new rules. New for the British, not in general. For families separated by Brexit, the emotional toll of these barriers cannot be overstated. Brexit has also had a profound impact on the professional lives of UK nationals living in Europe. Before 2021, British professionals benefited from the mutual recognition of qualifications across the EU. This system allowed doctors, lawyers, architects and other professionals to work seamlessly across borders. But Brexit dismantled this framework. Now, British professionals must meet the individual requirements of each country where they wish to work. In many cases, this means requalifying under local systems, a process that can be both time-consuming and expensive. And for some, the cost and complexity of requalification have forced them to abandon their careers entirely. Others have returned to the UK unable to navigate the new rules. The everyday aspects of life, like driving licenses, have been affected, and while most UK nationals can continue using their British licenses, those with older paper licenses or licenses issued in territories like Gibraltar face additional restrictions. Renewing or converting licenses now requires meeting local standards, adding yet another layer of complexity to daily life. For those engaged in cross-border trade or moving goods between the UK and the EU, Brexit has introduced new hurdles as well. Customs checks, tariffs, and additional paperwork are now the norm, increasing the costs and bringing delays. And this has been particularly challenging for small business owners, but also for freelancers and artists who rely on transporting goods and equipment for their work. For example, British musicians living in the EU who perform in the UK also now face customs rules for their instruments and equipment. And these changes have made it more difficult for British citizens as well to maintain professional ties with their home countries. And historically, the free movement of people was one of the EU's greatest achievements. It still is for the 27 remaining members. It allows millions of Europeans, and in that time including Britons, to build lives across borders, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. For decades, the system was a symbol of what the European Union could achieve when countries worked together, and for 27 it still is. But the 2016 Brexit referendum marked a turning point for the British. Driven by promises of sovereignty and control, the Leave campaign portrayed free movement as a problem rather than a big benefit. What was often overlooked in the debate was the extent to which British citizens had relied on this freedom to live and work in Europe. David Cameron's decision to hold the referendum was, as I already said, a political gamble, one aimed at resolving internal divisions within the Conservative Party. But it unleashed forces that reshaped Britain and Europe in profound ways. And the referendum result created uncertainty not only for EU nationals in the UK, as I talked about it yesterday, but also for British citizens living in the rest of Europe. The withdrawal agreement, while offering some protections, could not address the full scope of Brexit's impact. And for many UK nationals, Brexit has meant navigating a maze of bureaucracy, adapting to new restrictions, and grappling also with a sense of loss. And the challenges they face go beyond paperwork. They touch on the emotional and psychological toll of losing rights that were once taken for granted. For retirees, professionals, and families alike, the end of free movement has brought new barriers and new realities. And as we reflect on these changes, it's clear that Brexit was not just a political decision. It was a human decision with profound implications for millions of lives. It has reshaped relationships, disrupted communities, and forced countless individuals to adapt to a new and uncertain world. So, thank you for watching Outside Views again, and if you found this discussion insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. So, how do you think Brexit has changed the lives of UK nationals here in Europe? What challenges have you or your loved ones faced since Brexit? And what solutions do you see for the future? So I'm just saying now, until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and let's continue to question the decisions that shape our world. Take care, and the next video is right here in the end screen.